Jenny from Team Super Awesome Art, and today I thought I'd do a quick tutorial on how to sculpt hair onto a Funko Pop. This is a question that we get asked quite often, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to actually show you guys how to do that. Right now I'm working on a set of wedding pops, and the bride wants to have long curly hair added to her pop to match hers on her wedding day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sculpt that onto this pop. The pop I picked for this has straight hair, so I went ahead and sculpted on curls to this pop. So this is the one side that I already finished, and then I did also the middle part here. I'm gonna do the curly part, the other side, for you guys on video so you guys can kind of see how I do that, and hopefully you guys can kind of take something from this and add it to your next pop. For this project, of course, I'm going to be using a Funko Pop. I'm also going to be using Super Sculpey. Super Sculpey comes in a brick like this, like they call it, and this one's Super Sculpey. It says it on the box. Comes in the color beige. This is a baking clay, so you do have to put your pop into the oven once you're done sculpting. If you do not want to put your pop into the oven, I suggest using a 2-part epoxy. Also, if you do not want to paint your sculpt after, you can also use color clay. I think Super Sculpey makes color clay, Sculpey makes color clay, and also Fimo makes color clay as well. And I think you can get those at any craft store. Also online, they sell them too. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is tools. I pretty much use like one tool, and this is my tool, and I put little crystals on it so everybody knows that it's mine, and they don't take it and use it and never give it back to me. So this one's mine. This is what I use. It has a little flat end on one side, and then, or a flat sharp end on one side, and then a flat end on the other. You really don't have to have tools to do this. I suggest using them, of course, because you do get more detail with a tool, but you can also use something like a toothpick to kind of help you push down the ends or the corners of the clay if you need to. Alright, so like I said, this is going to be a wedding pop, so she is going to have long, loose curls, kind of an updo with long, loose curls at the bottom, and it's kind of longer hair. So I left the pop length of the hair the same, and then I'm just going to sculpt over it. What I did to this pop though is I did cut down on the front, so I'm going to fill that back in just a little to get rid of the harsh edges, and then I'm going to sculpt the curls on top. Alright, so first thing you want to do is grab some of your clay, and the Super Sculpey comes in what they call bricks, and it kind of looks like this. So you're just going to take some of the clay and kind of make it soft. The first thing I like to do is I like to put down kind of a thin layer of clay so that your curls have something to stick to. So you're not trying to stick it to the plastic, because that can be kind of tricky. So you're just going to smush it around until you have like a really thin layer of clay onto your pop. This is optional, you really don't have to do this, it just really helps me to get kind of a good sticky surface. Now that I have a thin layer of Super Sculpey down onto my pop, I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the front. Alright, so now that you have that little bit of clay along the front there and the back, you can now not only stick the clay, the curls onto the pop, but also you can also, well, I'm going to kind of carve into the front to give it more of a hair appearance rather than just having that flat front there. The first part to making curls, and again, these are wedding curls, so of course they're big, loose curls. Different hair will have different texture, so for this hair, this type of texture, this is kind of what I do. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is just grab a little piece of clay, and you're going to roll it into a snake looking little cylinder, and then you're going to kind of measure the thickness and the length. I want it to be a little bit thinner and not as long. So once you do that, I like to kind of squish it a little so it's not super round, and then I'm going to kind of twist it around so it has kind of a curling look to it. Just like that. So depending on how tight you want your curls is how much you twist. And then you're going to have one side be the top, and you're just going to put that down. Put this one right here. And then with your tool, you kind of just push it under, well, I'm going to push it under the hair that I have already sculpted there so that it looks flat. You can also use a toothpick, like I said, if you don't have tools. And then you kind of just, I like to make some sort of marks to flatten it so it looks like hair, like that. And then there's your first curl, and then at the bottom here, I kind of just push it down and kind of curve it under the pop. So that's what that looks like so far. There's one, and then you're just kind of gonna go around and do that to the rest of the hair. There's one. Then you're kind of going to just go around, all the way around the hair like that, finishing them all off. So what you want to remember is curls go both ways, so make sure when you are making curls, you curl them both ways. So if you curled clockwise one way, one time, then the next time you might want to go ahead and curl it counterclockwise the next time. So that way you have your curls going opposite directions and they don't like kind of fall into each other. They're coming. Also, be mindful of when you're doing this that you don't really stick out any of the clay. So don't do anything crazy where the hair is kind of coming up and kind of sticking up very far. Because if you do something like that, of course, once you hit that, it's going to break. Super Sculpey is a very rigid clay, so it does not have any give. So as soon as you touch it and it's cured, it will probably snap off. caught most of that. I think my camera might have turned off somewhere along the way, but I just did the same thing over and over again. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the last little bit in the front there, and then she'll be done and ready to bake. Now for this, I did do the front of the hair and the top, and then I baked that, and then I did the side and the back, and then I did bake it again, and so that way I can grab it without ruining what I just worked on. And now I'm doing this side with you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and bake that once it's done. Like I said, just one more time, I'm going to explain it to you guys one more time. So what I do is I kind of make a really long snake-like little clay piece, and then I kind of measure it to where I want it. I decide which way I want my curl to go. I'm going to go this way, and then I just twist it that way. And then I attach the top part to the pop, and then I smooth out the top part, and then I'll go ahead and add some little kind of hair details to kind of smooth it all out. I'll probably work on this a little bit more to get just some more detail in there, just like I did on this side, and make it really natural looking. And then once that is done, I will go ahead and bake this. The reason this pop is just a top half of a body and a head is because we tried to take the disc off of this pop and she did not want to come off. So what we had to do is we went ahead, well, what happened was that the bottom of the body came all the way off of the pop. So we just went with it. I left the top half of the body on, and then her hands did come off, which was fine. It kind of worked out really good because I am going to give her a really pretty bouquet of flowers. So I'm going to sculpt that onto the hands and then add the hands to this pop. I am going to make a full video of this wedding set, so of course subscribe so you guys don't miss that, so you guys can see the full painted and finished set when it's done. Yeah, I hope this helped you guys out. Like I said, this is for curly hair. If you were going to do a different type of hair, of course, you just work the clay differently. The trick is just to keep stabbing at it till it comes out how you want it to come out. Baking directions are on the box on the back of the Super Sculpey box. Go ahead and follow that. If you're going to bake your pops, just watch them, make sure that they're keeping their form. If you see that it's too hot and they're getting really soft, go ahead and lower the temperature on your oven and then raise the time a little bit. Again, all ovens bake differently, so just keep an eye on it. I'm going to work on this a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and clean up what I have sculpted so far, and then I'm going to add some texture to the curls and bake this one last time. If you guys have any questions, comment below and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions for you. Hit the like button if this was at all helpful. Make sure you check out more of our how-to videos on our channel. And as always, subscribe to see more cool stuff from us in the future. Thank you so much for watching.